In 1976, the M66 motorway was being constructed up the Rossendale Valley past the Lancashire town of Bury. Flowing down from the east side of the valley was a stream that needed to be diverted and culverted in order to take it under the new motorway. However, the driver of the mechanical digger was in for a shock. Suddenly his machine fell into a hole. Fortunately, he was uninjured, but there, beneath the digger, was a hole that no one had predicted. So what was this mysterious hole? It soon became obvious that the digger had broken into an old coal mine. Here was a coal mine that was directly underneath the stream course, in fact just 40 inches below, which must have made the workings very wet indeed. The fact that anyone could have worked in this coal mine at all is incredible. Immediately beneath the hard sandstone roof of the mine was a thin layer of black coal, just 2 feet 8 inches in thickness, and that was what the old miners were after. In this shot, the main haulage road or passage is clearly visible, and is exactly like the drawings that you find in every old school book on the Industrial Revolution. But let's take a closer look at the record photo. On the right is the coal. You may wonder why the old miners left such good coal behind. It was common practice to leave pillars of coal to support the roof, as in this case. There's a small ledge just 6 inches wide beneath the coal. This is known as the seat earth, and it is the fossil soil in which 345 million years ago grew trees, or rather a type of club moss that eventually became the coal. On the left-hand side of the photograph is the word gob. Gob is the miner's term for the area where the coal has been extracted. In this case, they've backfilled the old workings with rock and clay from another part of the mine. This drawing, taken from the report on the employment of children in mines in 1842, attempts to show how bad the working conditions were at that time. In our coal mine, it was even worse. They didn't have the luxury of height, and would have had to lie on their sides to get the coal out. So what did they use to take the coal out of the mine? They almost certainly used sledges, or little wagons with wheels on which ran on L-shaped rails. These drawings are based on sledges found many years later by miners who broke into the old workings some miles away from our mine. However, it does give us an idea of what they were like. Did women and children work in our mine? We just don't know. The mine isn't officially recorded, but it's highly likely they did. The wagons, also known as tubs, would have to be pushed along the main haulage road to daylight, or dragged along using the belt and chain so common in many small coal pits during the Industrial Revolution. And finally, how did they see to work? In many shallow coal pits, using candles underground was commonplace. Mines were risky places, and many people were injured or killed by roof falls and explosions. The risk of explosion was very real. It was caused by the escape of methane gas that seeped from the coal. When methane was mixed with the right percentage of air, the slightest spark or naked flame would cause a disastrous explosion. However, in a coal mine as small and as shallow as ours, the risk was likely to be quite low. The entrance to the mine, and therefore fresh air, must have been close by, probably in what is now the centre of the M66 motorway. Now there's a thought.